Oh, we made it. Oh my God, what a hectic week it's been, everyone. Sorry I'm a little late. I've been undercover all week trying to suss out some more information on our mini mystery. It's been rugged, as you can tell by the hair. It's been just kind of frantic. Anyways, hello everybody. I'm Sandy. And welcome to my sewing room. This is our Thursdays tips and tricks, and you can find us on Facebook and YouTube. Hi, Tina. All right. Anyways, yes, please find us on Facebook and YouTube. Give us a thumbs up, give us a love, share us with whoever you like, make a comment like Tina just did. And also, if you have enrolled in or haven't enrolled in YouTube, go to YouTube, search mysewingroom.ca, and it is D-O-T, not just a period, .co, mysewingroom.ca, and sign up. There's a little bell, so you can ring the bell for notification and everything. So, oh, and there's Ruth C. Hi, Ruth. All right. So anyways, here we are for another wonderful Thursday. And as I say, I'm a little shell shocked. We've been undercover all week trying to do some mystery stuff. And every time people keep finding me. People keep finding me, which is incredible. Anyways, here we are. Oh, thanks, Jess. Jess just brought a few props for me because I've got some really big information for you about our mini mystery, our Starlight mini mystery. So I'm going to be giving you some wonderful info later. Hi, Sandy. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you. I'm glad you like my locks. Hello, Helen. How are you? Oh my goodness, everybody. So here we are on an absolutely gorgeous day in Calgary. I cannot believe how beautiful it is. Good morning, Maureen. Yes, good morning, beautiful, to you too. It is so good to see you. I saw you yesterday, so that's awesome. All right, so here we are. Beautiful day in Calgary, absolutely gorgeous, and it's going to be a wonderful weekend. So if anybody is participating or going to visit Heritage Park's quilt show, it starts on Saturday and runs Saturday and Sunday. And I know Maureen and Dawn and Barb, who else was in that? Chelsea, did Leah, all put quilts into the show. So you got to be, if you go down, got to be on the lookout and look for their beautiful creations. Our Dawn, beautiful Dawn, said she would take pictures for me because I am working Saturday, Sunday this week. So I won't get a chance, but I saw Maureen's and it's stunning. So if you get a chance to go down to Heritage Park, it is well worth the visit to see all of their beautiful creations. So thank you so much, you guys. All right, quick shout out to some of our other people that are on our list. So of course we've got Helen, Tina, Ruth, Sandy, Maureen, who else? Ruth C. Did I say Ruth? Yeah, I said Ruth. Okay. And Glenda I, Nancy C, Wendy P, Chris L, Sandy A. Sandy A was in yesterday too. Tina we got, Ian M, Grace S, Peggy N, Ann L, Lana T, Michelle G, Joan D, Joanna T, Rita B, Carol Ann M, Ken M, and of course, we've got our Helen and our Sandy and Maureen. That's good. And of course, Mary Zed. Now, Mary Zed came in yesterday and she said, oh, I've got an idea for a show coming up. So if you too have ideas for anything you want me to mangle, mess, or, try and do, I am so open to suggestions. That would be absolutely wonderful. So thanks to Mary, we have an upcoming show idea. It will probably be in June, as I've got something fun planned for next week anyways, but we'll be looking for some ideas for June. That would be awesome. So yes, so thank you for joining me. And something came to my attention the other day. Believe it or not, I looked in a drawer and went, oh my, what is all that? And what was all that? It was called elastic. And there were oodles and toodles. And I'm not just stretching the truth here. There were oodles and toodles of elastic, and I thought, oh my goodness, what can we make with elastic? Well, I had to do a little bit of research. So I looked on my favorite tool, Google, and I Googled some DIY, so do-it-yourself projects for elastics. And of course, Chelsea and I had done one, so you'll find this one in our YouTube videos, doing scrunchies. That was fun. There's also, I saw online, some of these things are in Pinterest, others, you get the idea, a flip-flop organizer, and it was hung on the door and the elastic was put on it and all the little flip-flops were put in there. That would be good for traveling too, because you could roll it up and take it with you. A pencil crayon wrap, so if you're into doing those lovely coloring books, you put elastic down the middle of it, make it small, put all your little colored crayons in there, roll it up, tie it, and you've got a really cute little pencil crayon wrap. Of course, if you've got little people, macaroni noodle bracelets. How fun is that? You know, a little food coloring, you know, dye those little macaronis and let them dry, and then you can, you know, decorate little elastic bracelets. That'd be cute. Of course, sleep masks, right? So we can get our beauty sleep so we can look this good. All right. Fabric bracelets. So sort of like a scrunchie, but for, gee, this wig is kind of funny. Bracelets. And then, of course, elastic bookmarks. Now, this is the one that I'm going to make today. In fact, I made a couple of them already, so I want to show you those, okay? All right, here they come, We need to do top. Okay, here we are. So the first one I saw was this particular elastic, and they made the elastic band, and they made the bookmark, putting a line of stitching down the middle so you could put pen or a pencil, and this is your journal. So wherever you go, or if you have a sketchbook, wherever you go, you can keep notes. It's a great summertime journal for the kids. They can keep their notes or their pictures or all their findings in here. It's really cool. So this is really easy to make. All of these are made the same with just a little variation as to what I did to the top. So this one is for a journal. You put your pen and pencils in there. The other one I have, because I'm old and can't see so well, is I didn't put the stitch line down the middle. I left it as a pocket, and I put my reading glasses in the pocket. And then I just strapped the elastic onto where I left off in my book, and you've got a bookmark that holds very well and keeps your glasses together as well. So we're going to make another one today, another bookmark today, and a slightly different variation from the ones that I've made here. So shall we get started? Right on. Okay, so let's put those out of the way. What do you need to do this? Well, you need scraps of fabric and elastic. Maybe some pins. You need your measuring tape. You need some scissors, a rotary cutter and mat if you have. The other thing is these are made with 2.5-inch strips. So if you have any old jelly rolls hanging around, or you found some really fun fabric, if you cut a 2.5-inch strip, that's all you need, plus some elastic. So I'm sure we have some of these left over or find it at the store. I know I put this elastic on half price, so it's now in our rummage sale. So here I thought, what's better for summertime reading and summertime drawing and summertime keeping notes? What about watermelon? Isn't that just scream summertime? So I've got summer watermelon fabric and elastic, and that's all I need. I have 1 meter of elastic. I had, I think it was maybe a 1/2 meter of this fabric. And all I did was to cut 2.5-inch strip. Boop, boop, 2.5-inch strip. Okay, there it is, 2.5-inch strip. I cut it. Isn't that lovely? I trimmed off the selvage so that I'm ready to go. And here's the trick. Out of this, you're going to cut 2 strips, and each of them is a different length. You're going to cut a long one. Oops, there's our long one. And the long one is, if we measure it, It is, stretch that out. It is 18.5 inches. So you need an 18.5 inch strip that is 2.5 inches wide. So if you take one of your 1/2 inch jelly roll strips, cut an 18.5 inch piece. That's your big one. That'll fold for your pocket. And you need a back for it. So here is an 8-inch strip. So that's all we need. So we've cut our 18.5, we've cut our 8, and then the magic happens. You fold it. This is so much fun. So take this guy and we're going to make a pocket. You know how I had the pocket here? We're just going to take this and fold it upward. And we want it so that the bottom of the selvage is the bottom of the pocket fold. Okay. All right. Something like that. And what we want to do is make it the same size as the 8-inch. Oh my goodness, how was that? Just bang on. So this is going to be our pocket. See, there's a fold at the bottom. Just fold that up. Here's the raw edge on the fold of the fabric, right, like that. And there's our 8-inch. So we've made them the same size. Guess what we're going to do next? We're going to put them right sides together and we're going to sew them. We're going to leave a little opening. So we'll put that over on top. And we're going to leave a little opening because we have to insert our elastic, and we do that near the end. So we line up our raw edges at the top and our raw edges here. And then we're going to sew. We're going to sew, let me get my pencil. We're going to leave an opening here across the top. Boop, 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 boop. We're going to sew across here and down. And then we're going to stop here because what we have to do is turn this fabric, right? So these, we're going to sew down, leave an opening, and then we're going to sew across and back up, boop, 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 to here. I'm going to back stitch start and stop on each of these, okay? And then we'll turn this. So are you ready to do a little sewing? Okay, let's do a little sewing. Come on over to my sewing machine. I brought with me today, this is the Bernina 475 QE. So here he is. He has just, I didn't bring the 1/4 inch foot, but that's okay. It has 1/4 inch markings. I will know. The lady I was watching, she did hers a little less than a 1/4 inch, so she could do an 1/8 inch or a 1/4 inch. I went 1/4 just to make sure when I turned it, I'm not going to rip out the stitching. All right, so here we go. Are you ready? We're going to make sure these guys are together. You can pin them. That was Chelsea's brilliant idea all the time. Pin so they don't come apart. I learned so much from that girl. We had so much fun. And now I'm carrying on our tradition. So I have to keep our traditions intact. So I'm just going to pin these guys a little bit just to hold them all together. So, and I was watching the sewing and I'm thinking, you know, they don't really worry too much about the little excesses that stick out the sides because they get folded inside. And it's like, ooh, that's so brilliant. All right, there we are. Just got it all pinned. Now I'm going to start not quite to the center because I need to be able to turn this. So I'm going to start and I'm going to do a couple stitches and I'm going to back stitch and give that a little bit of strength there because I am going to turn it. I'm going to get to the 1/4 inch and turn. It's always good to have your needle in the downward position so you can make that without losing your spot. And I'm just going to sew that 1/4 inch up the side. I love this. Okay. This is so much fun. We haven't sewn a project for a bit, so this is really cool. Don't worry about any threads. We can cut them off afterwards. And then we're going to go right to the 1/4 inch. Boop. We're going to turn it. Needle down, turning. We're going to go not to this quite to the center, and then we're going to back stitch and make sure that's good and sturdy. Cut it off. All right, now we're going to come to the other side. We're going to start not quite in the center. Okay, get to our 1/4 inch there. Perfect. And we're going to back stitch a little just to make sure that we have. Okay, and then we're going to get out to the 1/4 inch. Needle down, turn, and then we're going to zip up this last side. And this is something not only you could do, but young people could do this as a sewing project too. Okay, so the 1/4 inch right to the end here, 1/4 inch, stop. There we go. Turn, and we make our last little stitch in toward the center, only a few, and then reverse to make sure we've got that good and sturdy. And then we can cut. Today on my cotton fabric, I actually used a poly thread, and I made a really bright blue poly thread so you can see what we stitched. We left an opening at both ends, and now the trick is to turn it. Are you ready? All right, let's head back to over here to the top. Now I found if you turn it on the end away from the pocket, it's easier. You got to leave a big enough hole, mind you. I didn't leave a very big hole. Maybe the other hole is bigger. Try not to turn into the pocket. I did that. It didn't work very good. I didn't leave a big enough opening, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle. Are you ready for a struggle? While I'm struggling, may I tell you a joke? Yes. I just want to say to the person who lost a huge roll of $100 bills wrapped with an elastic band, I found your elastic band. Oh, Dawn even smiled for that one. All right. So what do you call a musical group made of rubber? An elastic band. Okay, I did not leave enough opening. I have to snip my stitch a little bit because, oh my gosh, I can't get this open. There we go. Maybe that's enough room to get me to turn it. All right, so the elastic band is now playing at a store near you, or at a musical station near you. All right, are you ready for one more crazy elastic band joke? And then we'll get on to our project again. I was going to make a rubber band pun, but I just thought it was a bit of a stretch. Got Dawn to laugh for sure. All right, perfect. So those are my elastics jokes for today as we turn this crazy thing inside out. Okay, I'm struggling here because I didn't leave my opening big enough. Oh, Dawn, I should have brought my needle, my thread ripper thingy here. I won't worry about it too much, but it would be nice if I had a bigger opening. I guess I cut that. I sewed that just a little close. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're turning it inside out, and then I'm turning it on the wrong side. There we go. Turning it inside out. All right. So what can, oh, she got me, oh my goodness, that lady is just awesome. So I do want to thank Dawn too, because she's the one who puts together our bundles, and I'm going to show you a few more of our bundles today. She's made me some more because you guys are awesome. You bought all my mystery bundles. Hi, Peggy. Oh, in the garden watching and listening. Helen, that sounds like a wonderful place to watch us make bookmarks for your summertime reading pleasure. Okay, I almost have it turned inside out. Woohoo, woohoo. Isn't this fun? Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Now, of course, you can make these bigger, I suppose. I just made it the same 2.5 inch because it's usually what we have kicking around. If it's not a leftover piece of a binding, it's a jelly roll rug or jelly roll piece of fabric. Okay, we're almost to the end. Oh my goodness, we're almost to the end. We're just about there. Okay, we're just about there. Now, we're going to poke out the ends. My little pencil is right here, so let's just insert my little pencil and let's poke out some ends here just to get it square. Try not to poke a hole in it. There we go. And then do this one. There we go. There. Okay, now we need, there's our pocket. See, the pencil goes in the pocket. Okay, and then we just need to get the corners out on this end where the pocket and the thing come together. We'll just poke it out, poking it out. Okay, poking it out. Okay, now I made this 1/4 inch at each end so that you can fold under that 1/4 inch. Okay, do that at this end. Ripped that stitch right out, didn't we? That's okay, just tuck it under 1/4 inch. Now the next trick, we got these guys. I would press those and hold them down, and then we're going to sew them. Okay, are you ready? Now the next part is to cut the elastic. All right, so when I was doing the thing, she said, oh, put it out about 1 inch above and 1 inch below, and that should be enough to go around your book. So we're going to cut it off right there. And Miss Anne said, why don't you do 2, and we'll show you another trick with it. So I'm cutting 2 that are about the same size. All right, and now I'm going to insert one end. I'm going to insert the elastic into the end, put it in a little bit. I'm going to put a second piece here. Okay, get in the hole. There we go. And then this is a new one. Single piece if you want for one of those projects, 2 pieces for the next project. All right, now we're just going to sew right across this. Let's go over to the sewing machine. Here we go, close up. Okay, here's our sewing machine, and here's our elastic. We've inserted it into our top, and we are just going to stitch down that 1/2 inch strip that we left open, and we're going to secure our elastics. Okay, so we're going to start. We're going to back up. Just want to make sure we're good, and then we're going to go forward. We're going to sew across our elastics to hold them tight. Get to this end, and we are going to back up and make sure those stitches are good. The lady in the video was able to back up all the way across. I'm maybe not so good at that, so I made 2 lines of stitching across just to make sure that I held that elastic really firmly. Okay, so back it up a little bit and then stitch across those 2, and then over to this side, and we want to back up a little. Beautiful. All right, and then cut. So you can see I made 2 lines of stitching, and I've got 2 elastics sticking out. So we can trim off any of our little threads that we had. Okay, it looks like I had a mix of thread. We had blue and white. So one side's got blue and one side's got white, but hopefully you can see the 2 lines of stitching. Now what we do with the other ends is we take these, very carefully lay them flat so that we've got them in the right spots, and then we're just going to insert those ends into the opening, which you can't see because my fat hand is in the way. Okay, so we're just going to insert those into our opening here. Just want to make sure they're laid flat. Okay, and tuck our 1/4 inch under, 1/4 inch under, keeping our elastic. Okay, they're wiggling around on me. 1/4 inch. Okay, I've got my 1/4 inch seam. Okay, now just get these elastics spread out a little bit. Okay. They're just being a little difficult here. There we go. Put one here. One there and one here. Okay, my fat hands are in the road, aren't they? Okay, there we go. Okay, we got it. Now we're going to do our first line of stitching and catch those elastics and seal up our top. Going to do a little back stitch so that it's held. Okay, there we go. Cross the 2 elastics and over to this side and back it up. Cut that. Okay, and we'll do our second set of stitching across there to make sure I've got both elastics in. Do a back stitch. All right, and across the front and over to this side. And back up a little. Thank you. There we go, and cut it off. All right, there we go. And we'll trim off our little pieces. Okay, I'm sorry about the camera work today. I seem to be missing. Okay, there we go. We got a little bit of thread that we need to cut off. Okay, so we have now got an elastic this time. I will show you how it works. Come on over to this side, back over to the top. Okay, let's take this one off the book and show you how this one would work now. Okay, so we've got 2 elastics. So Anne said, hey, why don't you put one around the book, wherever you're reading. Let's pretend I left off right here. So I'm going to put the first one around the inside of my book. And then the second one, I'm going to trap the book. Ta-da! So I've got one inside the book, right there, and I got one on the outside. So we have dual elastics. That way we're definitely not coming apart, are we? All right, and then we can put our glasses in there. And there it is. Slick as all get out. Now that was a little stretch, wasn't it? Okay, so that's what we made today. Those are elastic bookmarks. And you can make them with the opening, or you can make them like I put on my journal with a stitch down the middle, and then you put your pens and pencils in, and oh look, then you can do your journaling. Maybe you're taking a trip this year and you want pictures of samples, birds, I don't know, feathers you found, all sorts of good things. Anyways, that is an elastic bookmark. Anyways, that was kind of fun. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, news. Are you ready for all my exciting news? First off, behind me, I have, if you remember, In the Ferns fabric with the bear and the new Pine Grove. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to be taking it out of this display and putting it back. Anyways, Dawn brought me this morning. Do you remember the mini coos, the Highland cow quilt? Oh my God, how cute is that? Well, I got to tell you, the moos are back in town. The moos are back in town. So you too can have a moo pattern, but they are absolutely adorable. I just love their furry little faces. It's almost like my wig. All right, so remember the mini coos, a Highland cow quilt. The patterns are back in stock. This makes a 52.5 by a 62.5. This would be really cute to take on a road trip. Put in your car with your reading book and stuff, and away you go. So don't forget, the mini coos are back in town. And I just want to remind you, if anybody missed out on doing the jelly roll rug technique class, we have another one going on. Yeah, I don't know how we convinced her to do another one, but she said she would. Isn't that awesome? All right, so we have this. We've got the pattern. We have some batting. All you need are some of those jelly roll strips, or you can cut your own fabric and you can make a jelly roll technique. Now this is this placemat, and she just made this absolutely beautiful. This is Patty's placemat. Isn't that gorgeous? She did it out of 2 colors. Now you can make it as many different colors as you like the jelly roll rug, but this is it. Now, what day did I say our jelly roll rug was on? I believe it is, let me cast my mind into the thing. It is in June. It is a Friday. It is, I want to say the 13th. But if you're concerned, check our website, mysewingroom.ca, and check under the drop-down menu for the calendar, and it'll tell you in June, 2nd Friday, I think it is. Yes, because I think the first Friday is Bernina's Brother Sewing. So that's on about the 6th, 7th. Yeah, 13th. Okay, so if you're interested in doing one of these wonderful little placemats and getting the idea of how to make the jelly roll rug so you can make a big one later, that class is on. Patty B's class is on for Friday, July 13th. Give us a call, as I say, at the store, My Sewing Room, 403-252-3711. We'll get you enrolled, or you can do it online. Yeah, at our website, mysewingroom.ca. Anyway, so those are upcoming wonderful things. All right, another upcoming wonderful thing. If you have joined our Mystery 5.0, the Starlight Mini Mystery, there was a new post yesterday by Anne, which I will share with you, but it is on our website. Okay, so To get involved in a mini mystery, the Starlight Mini Mystery, please go to our website, mysewingroom.ca, go to the calendar drop-down menu, and you will see Mystery 50. Now, if you open that up, you can read all of the wonderful things that are exciting about the mini mystery. It's called Starlight Mini Mystery. It makes a block that is 21 by 21, and you need 6 fat quarters to do it. So our beautiful Dawn has curated some bundles, and they just flew off the shelves really fast. I was down to 1 bundle, but Dawn has made me a couple more. So we have some more of the pressed flowers, and we have more of the industrial imprints. So, and we were talking about colors and stuff yesterday with Dawn and another person who had come in. This appears to have 2 lights, 2 darks, a contrast color, and for binding, we did a stripe. So I hope that helps you. If you're not going to buy one of our curated bundles and you're picking your own, that's kind of what you're looking for. Now, the awesome thing about getting a curated bundle is that there are numbers in here. Dawn has numbered the fabric, so be careful when you open it up, lay it out flat. Try not to lose the number inside the bundle, but it refers to fabric 1, fabric 2, fabric 3, fabric 4, fabric 5, fabric 6, which is your binding. All right, so get a curated bundle. Join us on our website. Click the invite button. When you get to that part, please make sure that you answer all 4 of the questions that they pose. And please, if you have a good heart, say that it is My Sewing Room, that's your favorite, or that's who you're joining. Okay, so join up. Once you get on our website, you're going to see some pictures of other people's bundles. You're going to see some comments by me. You're going to see a post by Anne. This is the latest. Are you ready? May 21st. Subject, welcome to the Starlight Mini Mystery. I'm really hoping that we can hurry up with this mystery because it's getting harder and harder to hide. I think they're starting to get on to me when I go to do information and stuff. I know the weeks have been really good, but I think they're on to me. Anne says, hello, friends. For those who don't know me, my name is Anne. I am the proprietor of My Sewing Room. We've been in business for over 20 years now. I personally have sewn for a living since I was 14. This includes costume work in film and theater. I love a good mystery as much as the next person, and that Mystery 50 includes quilting, made it even more attractive to us to stitch. All right, so we are so excited to be taking this Starlight Mini Mystery journey with you. Everything you need for the mystery, including a quilt, all quilt clues and helpful videos, will be right there on our Facebook group. So join. If you have not joined, join. So stay tuned and participate as much as you'd like, and most importantly, have fun. And then she lists on here our schedule for launch day. So our first document, this is number 1 I'm reading. Number 2 will give you before you begin. So it'll give us some information. And then after that, each clue will drop starting at 10 a.m., then 10:30, then 11, 11:15, 11:45, 11:15, 11:45 is the big reveal, and 11:15 is the document, last document, which will be the wrap-up. Okay, so here's the fun thing. We know life can get busy. If you're not able to follow along with the scheduled clues and videos, no problem at all. You can jump in at any time that works best for you. The documents and videos will stay available in the group whenever you are ready to sew. Video instructions will follow each quilt clue to walk you through each step. Oh, I'm really glad about that because I wasn't sure if I was going to figure it out. You're welcome to pause, rewind, and replay as much as needed to complete each unit. And don't forget, we'd love to see your progress. So please share pictures of you, your fabrics, and your units, and of course, your finished Starlight quilt. Seeing everyone's creativity and projects come together is what makes the mystery extra special. Thanks so much for joining us. We can't wait to kick off this exciting quilt adventure with you. We're looking forward to solving the mystery with you together, one stitch at a time. Anne from My Sewing Room. All right, so if you're joined, you've got everything you need then. If you've got your curated bundle, I suspect we're going to need, I would think, a mat, a rotary color cutter, a ruler, because we're going to have to cut pieces, I'm pretty sure. We're going to need our sewing machine, thread, 1/4-inch piecing, footsing as we're quilting, that kind of stuff. Might need a seam ripper, because you know how that goes around here. Seam ripper. You might need some pins or wonder clips, whichever you have. You'll probably need a marker, maybe little mini scissors, you know, all the things you would use normally to make a quilt block. All right, just this one's going to be bigger. It's going to be 21 by 21. So we're making a little mini quilt. All right, I can't wait. Okay, so the good news about all of this is that I spoke with Tyler. Tyler assures me that I can put our Facebook channel on the big TVs in the classroom. Jesse has assured me that he will monitor our Facebook and drop the clues when we need them, and, you know, kind of help us if we have any problem. But I will let you know that on Saturday, May 31st, I will be here at the store sewing my block. So I will let you know that. We'll let you know when we're ready, but right now I'm thinking Saturday, first clue drops at 9 a.m. You can come sew with me on Saturday, May 31st. So we'll have 16 tables set up, but I get one of them. Okay, so we only have room for 15 in-store sale spots to actually sew with me. It will start early because I need everybody, if you're going to sew with me, here by 8:30 in the morning. In that way, we'll be set up and ready to go for our first document launch at 9 a.m. Then we're going to be sewing until we get it done. So we should be wrapping up at 1:15. So I haven't got it in the computer yet, so don't rush off. But we're going to put it in the computer, so it'll be the first 15 people who phone in and sign up. It's $5 so that you hold your table, but only 15. So I'm going to put a post out on Facebook later today once we have it all in the computer, because I haven't got it in the computer yet. We just got thumbs up from Anne. Jesse said we're good to go. I just have to get it into the computer with 15 eligible spots for $5. And then if you would like to come in and sew with me that day, that would be wonderful. All right, so that's going to be launched soon. It's not ready yet, okay? All right, so anyways, that's what I have about the mini mystery. I will have more information on Monday to let you know how it's going, Monday Minute. But I've got some comments and I just want to check. Tina said, I made something similar and put it around a journal with pens and pencils and eraser for my grandkids to use for the road trip. Certainly came in handy to pass the time. That's fabulous. Tina, you're a doll. Good morning, Vicki. I see Vicki's on our list as well. Good of you to join. So I hope you do have some time, to make up your bookmarks, elastic bookmarks for journals or reading. Put your glasses in it, whatever you like. There's lots of other DIY projects on Facebook, of course, to use up any of your elastic, or if you need to come in and purchase it, that would be great. All right, so don't phone me yet. Wait till we drop the clue, because I've got to go talk to Jesse about getting it into the computer, and then you can call. But we'll put it out on Facebook. We'll put a notice on Facebook, okay? All right, so that's our mini mystery. All right, other things I just want to bring to mind. We do have continuing sales going on for Brother Bernina and our rummage sale. Online sales. Oh, I suppose you've all heard about the postal disruption. It's supposed to start tonight. So here's what's happening. In the event of a postal disruption, My Sewing Room will continue to process online orders for pickup at the store. So if you're in our local area or in Calgary or local area, you can come pick them up. If your order and you want us to get it to you, if you live in Calgary, we have Trek City. They deliver within the city. There is a $12 charge for delivery in the city. So if you're doing an online order, we can deliver to an address in Calgary. However, any other orders that come in, we will process, but they will be held until the conclusion of the postal disruption, and then we will ship them out. So I'm going to have that note put on our website so anyone who is ordering will know what we're doing with the postal strike. We, as a small business, really rely on Canada Post to do our shipping because it's very expensive to do it any other way. We try to keep our costs down to all of our people. So for the time being, unless someone has their own FedEx, UPS, Loomis, whatever courier service you might use, if you have your own delivery service, we can help you get it delivered to your house, but we do not have those services. We use Canada Post, and that's where we stand on our postal disruption. Anyways, that was fun, you guys. It's so good to talk to you, everybody, and have a wonderful weekend. That weather is supposed to be fabulous. Get out to Heritage Park and see those gorgeous quilts. And I will be back on Monday for Monday Minute, and I'll give you another update as to what's happening with our mini mystery and all of that stuff. So stay tuned to our Facebook post for the mini mystery, Starlight mini mystery Facebook page. All right, check it out. All right. Thanks, everybody, and have